Well, Dave, I don't need to brief you on the breaking news out of Pennsylvania as far as the rally, and it sounds like there's at least two people dead, and the former president is injured. What's your initial reaction? How did you hear the news?
I mean, initially, I think, like most Americans, shocked, and then when you have a moment just to sort of pause and think about what just happened, it's just a tragic and sad day. Um, Loss of life, obviously, the suspect and the victim, and still someone in critical condition. Thank God that President Trump is okay. Um, but yeah, I think first of all, it was just a shock, and I'm just sort of disappointed and sad that this is happening in our great country.
What crosses your mind as somebody who's held campaign rallies, who's also been involved in law enforcement, a career law enforcement official? I mean, what crosses your mind when you see something like this happen?
Yeah, the good thing is they did have their mags working. The suspect obviously wasn't able to get into the event proper, but was firing from outside. So I guess the security worked to some degree. They may have to re-examine their parameters there a little bit. I would do that. Secondly, as you saw, the Secret Service was immediately on top of the president. There was immediate aid to the victims. So the law enforcement part of that seemed to be working, and really appreciate the swift response of the Secret Service team. I have been in those situations, not fired upon as a member of Congress, but at an event in Washington, D.C., greeting people at the World War II Memorial. Um, Fortunately for me, the Capitol Hill Police spotted somebody suspicious looking with a backpack standing in line to interview me, and removed him from line and found a weapon in his backpack, and admitted to thinking about using it when he got close enough to me. So fortunate that that didn't happen. And as sheriff, I had an event in the shoreline area where we learned that a woman was circling me. We sort of watched her, and some of my deputies saw her. She was circling, trying to get access to my gun that was, I was in full uniforms. It was in my holster on my gun belt. So, I've lived with this for my entire career, as you might guess, as a law enforcement officer. I keep my head on a swivel. I watch everyone and everything, but I think everybody realizes you can do so much, but if someone is intent on committing a serious crime like this, they will find a way, sadly.
When was that event in Washington D.C.?
I don't remember probably the last 4 years of my 4 or 5 years of my term there.
There's so much we don't know yet about as you and I talk about what happened in Pennsylvania, but there is some initial reporting. It sounds like you have heard that the alleged shooter was on a rooftop outside the perimeter of the event. ABC News is reporting that an AR-15 was recovered, and that the shots were fired from 200 to 300 yards away. Again, a lot we do not know at this point, but there's going to be discussions again about assault weapons. At least we can say that now, based on the limited information we have. Do you think that enters the conversation based on what happened?
I think you know um, what I think about really is access to rooftops. And normally, I was the SWAT commander with the sheriff's office back in the days, and we did dignitary protection for people coming into, and also involved as the sheriff during WTO and the influx of dignitaries there. And I know, working with the Secret Service, one of the things we did, of course, was to make sure that all the rooftops were secure, with any rooftop, especially that had a line of sight. And so I'm not familiar with the area in which this incident took place. But my first thought would be that they may want to expand their parameters as far as determining, rooftops and observation posts to where the president and or other candidates may be standing. I think that's a concern. I think that if someone is intent on hurting or killing someone, they will find a way to do it, no matter what weapon they use.
You and I both know that there's already conversations about political rhetoric in this country, and again, we do not know a whole lot yet about who this person is or what their intentions were. Um, but there's already a conversation being had on all the networks about political rhetoric in this country. We've already noticed a lot of people putting out statements saying that needs the violent rhetoric needs to stop. What can you say about just the tenor and tone of politics in this country right now?
Yeah, I think that anytime we have a tragic incident like this occur, people all of a sudden become aware of the fact that there is this disrespect for each other as human beings, and it really it does run along the lines of politics, obviously, but it sometimes runs along, as we've seen, along the lines of religion, and other strong opinions on other matters that may be important to people. And I think where we need to be as Americans is just to understand, look, that we are a free country, and each and every one of us has that freedom to think and say the things that we believe without having fear of being harmed in any way. And I think that what we need to do is get back to respecting each other's opinion, being able to understand that we have the right to express those opinions and respect each other as we voice those opinions, and not act out aggressively or call names. Social media provides us a platform that we haven't had back in my day, but I think it provides a sort of safe place for people to express some very outrageous views, which sort of intensifies the argument and intensifies the anger. I really, what I do at night really is pray for a peaceful nation, a respectful nation, a thoughtful nation, and if there's anything that's good that comes out of this sort of event, I hope that people really pause and begin to say, you know what, it's time to change the rhetoric. It's time to respect each other and understand that we have the right to express our freedoms.
Well, I appreciate it. It sounds like your event is still going on tonight. I just talked to Jim Walsh back in Milwaukee. They had canceled an event tonight, but it sounds like your event's still going on.
Yes, it is still going on, and we're a little bit late because of traffic, but I think I think the political rhetoric has to stop. I know that it has to stop. And, at any public event that I'm at, my head is always on a swivel. My staff is always watching. We just are very aware of what's going on around us. Uh, but to attach political meaning to this right now, I think is a step too far. We don't know what this person was thinking. We don't know if he is associated with or affiliated with any terrorist organization or not. So let's not jump to conclusions. Let's wait until the facts come out.
And with that, I will hit stop.